What is going on, collective? Welcome back to my channel, Elevate Your Energy. It's Jazi, your favorite Kelly reader, as well as your eclectic spiritual consult practitioner. So this is going to be your reading for this full moon lunar eclipse that's taking place on either March 13th or 14th, wherever, it depends on wherever you are in the world. At that time. So that's what this is about. But this reading in specific is about the truth that you've been running from. What is the truth that Spirit wants you to pay attention to the most at this time for this full moon? That is what Spirit is putting emphasis on at this time. So that is what we're diving into. All right. So please remember that my readings, as always, are timeless unless otherwise specified. This is one of those specified times that this is for, specifically the full moon lunar eclipse that is on March 14th or the 13th, depending on where you are, as well as we're coming into the real new year, which is March 20th, which is the spring equinox. So that's also, you know, an event and energies that we're also starting to feel right now as well. So just something to keep in mind. These readings, as always, are general in nature, meaning they're not going to resonate with all of you, nor are they meant to. Okay, so please take what applies, what seems like it fits, take a mental note of it, you know, whatever, and leave the rest for those it's meant for. All right. So please don't try to force a message to fit. If it's not yours, it's just not yours, or it's not yours yet. All right. So let's see, for the collective, Spirit, what is the truth that the collective is running from or needs to pay attention to at this time for their highest and greatest good and nothing less? Okay. So we got two that popped out. First one is the truth that you're running from, collective, is card number 57. So your circumstances are mirroring your self-perception. Okay. So whatever it is you're experiencing right now that some of you aren't maybe wanting to accept is the acknowledgement that whatever it is you're experiencing is a byproduct of a culmination of compounded thoughts and actions. Okay. That's how we get to any, you know, place that we find ourselves in. Is, yeah, other people play a role and have a part, but it's also, you know, about the decisions we make as well, based on what people do or lack thereof, as well as how we respond to the thoughts that we receive. Okay. So second card that came out is number 6. Give yourself the space to heal. Past emotional pain will continue to manifest in different forms until you process it and give it a defined value. Okay. So what I feel like Spirit is saying with that defined value part that I feel like a lot of, you know, people may be missing when it comes to healing things and giving it defining it, giving it a definition. It's more helpful to define things as, this is something that my soul signed up for. It's teaching me something. It's helping me evolve. It's getting me to the next level. It was required for me to get to this next version of myself. You see what I'm saying? If you define things in that sense versus defining it as they're out to get me, people don't want to see me prosper, my bloodline is cursed, I have a curse on me, I'm jinxed, all that shit does not benefit you, does not serve you. I'm not saying that those things aren't valid, and they may not, you know, and they may, you know, play a part in your experience. However, they only play as big of a role as you allow it to, based on the definition you give it. Okay. So that is what it feels like Spirit is really wanting to highlight at this time for you guys. Whatever that is for you, wherever it is that you find yourself at this time, understand it's based on how you define your experiences, you know, and I get it. We as humans typically define our experiences based on how they make us feel. Meaning, if our experience is, you know, if it feels bad, if it's really painful, we assume that must be a bad thing. We assume that means we did something wrong. That means that, you know, and this is not only the things that just come to us, but these are things that other people project onto us as well, right? Based on their experiences. That has, you know, shaped how they see things and their perception. They then assume that, oh, okay, well, because you're going through a painful experience and these things happen and you're requesting my help in this way, that this must be a bad thing, right? That's not always the case. It's all about how you choose to see it. And I get it, you know, like I said, other people, especially when you're having to, you know, ask for support from other people based on their response, can also play into, you know, making you either feel better about the situation or worse, right? So, you know, I feel like it's really just a matter of allowing yourself to experience what is coming up for you, and then from that, you know, balanced place of, you know, kind of like giving yourself that space to let the emotions come up, let whatever comes up, and then let it, you know, let it settle, then respond from there, respond from that place. That is what's going to help you actually make an informed decision that is balanced and well thought out, right? So let's see. And then we'll wrap with a sign or synchronicity that you can look out for, that lets you know you're on the right track, or, you know, whatever may be coming up for you. Okay. From my deck, Signs and Synchronicities Oracle deck. So let's see. Spirit, clarify this energy for the collective, please. What is this truth about? Give some more details, please. Three of Pentacles. Okay. So for some of you, this could definitely be something with work, something with to do with people that you're working with, maybe family, collaboration of some sort. Okay. What else? This could be having to do with your growth. For some of you, this has to do with your finances. Okay. Like the way your money is growing and maybe seeming like it's taking a long time, or it's not happening exactly how you want it to. You know, that's just an opportunity, you know, to realize, how have I put myself here? Or how have I perpetuated, you know, the lack that some of you may be feeling like you've been experiencing or observing? How have my thoughts, how have they played into that? How have they, you know, how's this season of where it seems seemingly like a drought, how's my thoughts played into that and made it last longer than it maybe needed to, right? This is a time to really acknowledge that. You know, how have I been, you know, co-creating my own experience in that way, right? 10 of Wands in reverse. Okay, see what I'm saying? This is about dropping the burden, dropping the weight, dropping what isn't yours. You know, letting go and releasing what you've been holding on to that is not for you to carry. Some of us, you know, yeah, we came into this experience with certain things, you know, already. Not only that we came in with on our own, but as well as what we've come in with our ancestors, right? Generational trauma, things like that. So these are things to also acknowledge, right? So while those things are valid and they also play a role, these are things that we knew we were going to come in with, right? Our soul signed up to come in with because it knew we had what it took. It knew that we were equipped enough to break that cycle this lifetime. So that's why a lot of us come in with certain things off the rip, right? For us to take care of, for us to break, for us to reframe, rewire, you know, rediscover, disc over, right? Rewriting, basically rewriting the story, rewriting, you know, what has been perpetuating, what has been repeated, right? So some of you are really being asked at this time to identify, how have I been contributing to my own burdens? How have I been burdening myself without realizing it, right? How am I contributing to my own, you know, seemingly lack, right? Whatever that is for you, right? Emperor at the bottom. It's about stepping into your own power. For some of you, this could be a boss, some type of a boss figure. For some of you, authority figure that could be, you know, playing into this. Okay, someone, like I said, that's at your job, someone that you're working with. Okay, but for some of you, this is spirit letting you know that you're only still at this job because some of you don't think you deserve any better. You don't think that you can do any better. Some of you don't realize that the place that you're still in is a place that you're really overqualified to be in. You shouldn't even fucking be there. Just saying. What else? What else, spirit, for the collective? Somebody's ancestors is speaking. Oh shit. What else, spirit, for the collective, please? More details about this energy. The 10 of Cups in reverse. Some of you are not happy. 10-10 here. Okay, some of you may be seeing 10-10. That could be a number of significance. Matter of fact, as I'm recording this on the 10th of March, that's interesting. Very interesting. So whenever you see this reading, okay, some of you are being asked at this time to really let go of and release maybe what's not making you happy, things that are, you know, that don't feel in alignment anymore. Even if it once was, if it no longer is, this is the time to let that go, to drop it. You know, some of you need that you're being asked to also pull on resources that you have at this time that can really help you, you know, like whether it's coworkers or whether it's friends, family, that are close to you. It's like you're being asked to lean on those resources at this time, especially for those of you that are like going through a breakup, especially if it's like because of the shadow work that you've been doing, this inner work, like it makes sense, right? So you're being asked to lean on those resources. Pull on that support at this time. Wherever that support lies for you, this is the time to really utilize it. Okay. Even if you're one of those like myself who, find it maybe difficult at times to ask for help or ask for support, you're being asked to put your pride aside at this time. And see in that in itself, for those of you that resonates, that in itself is spirit letting you know, like, do you see how in itself, when you're being told like, hey, this is the way you're going to get support, is by way of asking this particular person, whoever drops into your mind when you hear this message, right? By you being like, oh, well, I don't want to ask them, or I asked them before, or I feel like they're going to say no, or whatever it is that your mind, your ego is telling you, giving you about why you shouldn't do it. This is, again, spirits giving you an opportunity to identify how is that in itself, that little thing right there that we kind of overlook and be just like, oh, but I don't want to, type of thing. How is that blocking you? How is that, really, keeping you from progressing to the next level? You got to understand that when spirit gives you certain support, drop people in your experience, or give you the inkling to ask for certain support from people, you have to understand that spirit has equipped them to be able to support you. That's why spirit gave you that inkling to contact them, or to ask them the question, or request the support, whatever it is, right? You have to know that if spirit is telling you to ask them, it's because spirit has equipped them to be able to support you in that way, right? Spirit isn't going to tell you to go somewhere to get water knowing that the well is dry, right? That just doesn't make sense. Spirit is not going to do that to you. Your higher aspects is not going to do that to you, okay? So for some of you, this definitely has to do with work, okay? Or maybe just somewhere you've been investing in, somewhere you've been putting in a lot of time, energy, and effort, and it's some of you aren't really maybe getting the return on your investment the way you should, and this is why, right? Because some of you feel like you're deep down, right? The only reason you would stay in a place that you're not happy is because of some deep down hidden ideology, right, in your subconscious mind that's telling yourself that I don't deserve more, or I can't have better, or times are hard, so I can't ask for what I know that I deserve to be compensated, whatever it is, right? So let's see, what is the overall message here for the collective spirit? What is the overall message? If you guys have resonated with this message so far, you know what to do. I appreciate, love y'all so much for your support in whatever way that might be. Okay. Let's get an overall message for the collective spirit for this full moon lunar eclipse. 7 of Pentacles. It was at the bottom and now it finally came out. So for some of you, this is again about, looking at your life long term. What do you want that to look like, right? Who do you want? Who do you feel like should be? Who is in alignment to be involved? Okay, 5 of Cups, right? This is also about, the stars at the bottom. Things that you're healing. Some of you are going through a healing phase right now. Some of you, because this is at the bottom, this is the energy you don't see. Followed by the Empress, okay? Followed by the Ace of fucking Wands and the Fool. Like, come the fuck on. Like, y'all don't know what's on the other side of whatever this is that some of you are being asked to walk away from, or release, or let go of, okay? It's like some of you don't realize how you're doing this to yourself, but as you continue to heal and allow yourself to release, right, the things that you feel like you've lost, that sense of regret or burden of, some of you, that's maybe what's taking you so long to let something go, is by that feeling deep down that, oh, well, if I let this go, then that means that I don't care. Or if I break up with them, that means I don't care. Or because I allow myself to close this cycle, then that means that I'm releasing my ancestors, or, whatever that is. Like, that doesn't have to be, it depends on how you define it. We talked about that earlier, right? So it's again about the way you choose to define your experience, and it's like, if you choose to allow it to yourself to define it based on how it makes you feel, knowing that just because it feels bad and you let it give it a bad definition, then that's what you're going to continue to see. That's the energy you're going to perpetuate, and that can just perpetually get worse, right? It's easier. So that means that energy has a more powerful impact, right? So, because, especially if you're one that's naturally gravitates towards negative, outcomes and results, it's going to be easy for that to, be what you experience. However, you also have the opportunity, right, to view it on the flip side, okay, which is in a more positive aspect of, you know, this has been only benefiting me. I'm just choosing and deciding that if I'm the operant power of my reality, then that means that I choose the definitions of my experiences. No matter how it makes me feel, I'm meant to feel those feelings because I'm a human. That's part of the wave, right? That's what energy is. Emotions are, is energy in motion. So it means it's not meant to stay, it's meant to come and then go, right? How we fuck up is we hold on to it, right? So you're being asked to identify what have I been holding on to that was supposed to just pass me, and I, you know, grabbed it in midst of its passing and held on to it a little bit too long for some of you, right? This is spirit trying to let you heal, trying to, you know, put you into your abundance and let you know how well provided for and taken care of you really are. Okay, spirit is saying that if you're not happy, you need to let it go. Some of you have invested, you know, plenty. You've invested more than enough. Okay. And if you keep investing where you're not being appreciative of, where you're not being valued, this is exactly how you're going to feel. So this is spirit, you know, like I said, this is time for some of you to be accountable, collective. Okay. And really identify and acknowledge, where have I been, you know, adding on to the trauma I've been carrying? Where have I been adding on to my suffering, right? Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. That is a decision that we make, right? So you're being asked to really identify and be real with yourself, being honest with yourself, collective. Where am I contributing to my own pain? Where am I contributing to the circumstances that I don't want to see or that I don't desire? Where am I making this actually a little bit worse for myself than it has to be, right? And then start doing the opposite, right? When the situations come up, that is how you break the cycle. It's the same things if you're doing a donut with your car, right? And you're going around, 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 around. The only way you stop going in a donut is by breaking off and going straight, right? That is the same thing when it comes to breaking our cycles, is that when the situation presents itself, instead of responding the way you normally do and the way you always have or the way you've always been modeled, you respond the opposite in the more, or at least the more beneficial, aligned way, whatever that is for you, right? That is how you break the cycle. So let's get a sign that you should be looking out for. Some of you may be already seeing, but as we come closer into the spring, certain you know, signs are going to change, like the bugs that you see that we haven't been seeing in the winter are going to now start coming out. Some of the birds that you haven't been seeing are going to start showing themselves again. So let's see, for the collective, what is a sign or synchronicity this collective should be looking out for at this time, spirit? All right, so we had two that came out. So for some of you, this could be earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorns. We also have 999 at the bottom. Nines represent new cycles, completion, accomplishment, endings, okay, new beginnings. Focus on what what needs your attention the most. End of a relationship, a connection, or phase. Like I said, some of you are going through a breakup, or you will be. This full moon for some of you is going to result in a breakup. Okay, but for some of you, this is something that is going to result in you ultimately getting everything you've been wishing for. The brand new starts. Some of you, it's like you've kind of like maybe lost yourself to a relationship, and this is that energy you needed to put you back on track. Some of you are going to find out that you're pregnant. Okay, and some of you, this needed to happen in order to bring this baby in a healthy environment. Some of you needed to go through a breakup in order for you to thrive with the new child. Okay, that's not going to be for all of you. That feels very fucking specific, but it just kind of shot in there, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like even myself, when I left my son's father, you know, like it's not something I wanted to do, but I realized very quickly, and that was at an age where, like, I didn't doubt myself as much back then as I did after, like, as I came more into adulthood. It's really wild how that kind of, like, you know, flip flop like that. But back then, and that was when I was what, 20. I was 20 because I had my son a month after I turned 21. So yeah, 20 years old, I was, you know, made that major life-changing decision, but it was one of the best decisions I, you know, ever made, fortunately and unfortunately, right? But so like I said, some of you, it's like you're being guided to walk away from something. You're being guided to, even if you have a family, even if there's kids involved, the spirit is saying that the longer you stay, the more you invest, you're going to regret it later. It's like the longer you stay, the more you put in, the more time wasted. You know what I'm saying? When you know you're being guided to make a move or do something different, the more it's going to bite your ass later. I'm just saying. So we have fish, and that's where the pregnancy thing came out. So we have fish and we have dirt. Okay. Some of you may be burying a pet. It could be a fish. Others of you could be bearing a embryo, having a miscarriage, something like that. I'm not projecting that. This is just what's coming up. So this could be for some of you a warning. Okay. that there are resources, there are people, there are support. There is support for you. Okay. If you're going through that, or if this is something that's coming up, understand that every soul has its own agenda when it comes here, right? All right. So, really quick, while I finish your reading up right before I go get my kiddo from school. So yeah, keywords for fish: go with the flow, don't fight the rocks. Swimming upstream will not serve you. Universe supports your decision. So whatever it is you're deciding, the universe is supporting you. Some of you needed to know that, needed that confirmation. Okay. Trust your path and guidance. Creative solutions. Relax, let go, release control, keep going / moving. Okay. This is not the time to stop. And then earth, dirt says roads, path unclear, keep moving, don't stop. Both these cards are talking about moving and don't stop, but they're very different like elements, right? Let's see. Keep moving, don't stop. Steps will be given. Delay is not denial. Grounding, nurture, foundation, time to rebuild, start over, plant seeds, plant-based diet, start a garden. So if any of those keywords resonate for you, this is your indication. Some of you maybe keep getting signs to start a garden, or signs to go to start fasting or intermittent fasting, whatever it is. This is spirit saying, yes, do those things. Okay. Honor what's coming to you about that. All right. So that's what I have for you. Like I said, if it resonated, if you did enjoy it, you know what to do. I love you all so much. Until next time. Howdy.